you're getting rid of $5.5 million to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex advocacy in Uganda, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
I can't believe we're arguing about this. I can't believe we're arguing about this. PEPFAR, we're not denying life-saving care to anybody, are we?
No, and $10 billion would remain for that funding.
At this particular point, the Democrats are the New Orleans Saints of political parties. What are we talking about? Trust the Dems or GOP more on the economy? Who leads on the economy? Republicans by 7. Immigration, Republicans by 13. How about crime, a big issue for Donald Trump and the Republicans? Look at that, lead by 22 points.
Well, certainly any enlightened agreement at the end of the day, any sustainable agreement should always be bipartisan in nature, and that's been our position. It's also been our position quite clearly that we've got to address this Republican health care crisis. Think about this. The largest cut to Medicaid in American history, a potential $536 billion cut to Medicare if Congress doesn't act by the end of the year. And if we don't extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, more than 20 million Americans are going to experience dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles in an environment where the cost of living in America is already too high.
Hey, everybody. Kevin here. And I just want to have a real talk with you guys. We're on the brink of another government shutdown tomorrow. And while Dems like Hakeem Jeffries are out there whining about protecting American health care from Republican cuts, let's cut the BS here. This is just code for demanding endless cash to keep handing out freebies to illegal immigrants while our own borders bleed dry. Hakeem Jeffries, the Walmart Obama, is basically admitting that they'll tank the whole government unless we fund their open door insanity. Prioritizing non-citizens over veterans, families, and hardworking Americans scraping by on Medicaid. And don't get me started on those ACA tax credits expiring December 31. Democrats want to extend them forever, ballooning premiums for the rest of us, all while Republicans are fighting to slash waste and secure the damn border. America first or a shutdown? Your call, folks. Let me know in the comments. And side note, President Trump has agreed to have a sit-down meeting at the White House to meet with the top 4 congressional leaders to discuss a potential deal as a government shutdown looms.
Just hours to go until a potential government shutdown. Today, the president set to meet with the top 4 congressional leaders at the White House to discuss a potential deal. Democrats are demanding a new funding bill that reverses Medicaid cuts and extends expiring Obamacare subsidies. Democrats argue that nearly 22 million Americans could see their monthly health insurance costs nearly double next year if the Obamacare subsidies are not extended. Republicans are pushing for a more simple short-term funding fix to keep the government running until November 20th. A shutdown would mean millions of federal employees, including members of the military, TSA officers, and ICE agents, would work without pay until the government reopens. The White House raising the stakes even further, directing agencies to consider mass firings of federal workers from programs that are, quote, not consistent with the president's priorities.
They're trying to intimidate the American people and us.
All right, y'all. Let's hit pause for a second because this matters and it's really important. We talk a lot on this channel about taking control of your life, making smart choices, and not letting the system overwhelm you. But when it comes to navigating Medicare, it can feel like you're wading through a swamp of total confusion. Plans, coverage, costs, deadlines, you name it. And that's where Chapter steps in. They're not just another company. They're the real deal when it comes to free Medicare help. Chapter's team of experts has helped thousands of people across the country find the right Medicare plan, and they do it with one goal in mind: putting you first. No fees, no pressure, just honest guidance to make sure you're covered without breaking the bank. Big insurance companies have their own agendas, but Chapter's got your back, fighting to get you the plan that works for you. So if you're approaching Medicare age or helping a loved one figure it out, don't go it alone. Call Chapter today at 270-467-2426 and start getting the clarity you deserve. Because at the end of the day, protecting your health and your wallet, well, that's not just smart. It's living life on your terms.
Funding bills need at least 60 votes to pass in the Senate, and that means it will need at least 7 Senate Democrats to pass if every Republican supports the proposal.
And Holly, a live look at the U.S. Capitol coming into the live desk right now. One of the federal departments preparing for a possible government shutdown is the U.S. Department of Education. As part of its new contingency plan, nearly 1,500 of its 1,700 employees would be furloughed. That's if lawmakers fail to pass a spending bill by late tomorrow night. That would include most staff at the Office of Federal Student Aid. Some essential employees would stay on to keep loans and grants moving, but the agency would stop issuing new grants and reviewing civil rights complaints. If the shutdown lasts longer than 1 week, the department says it would have to bring back some workers on to work on a...
But hold up just 1 second. Wait 1 minute. Speaking of Democrats fumbling the ball like the sad sack New Orleans Saints, shout out CNN for accidentally stating the obvious and saying the quiet part out loud, spilling the tea, and polls show we all trust Republicans way more on immigration, the economy, and crushing crime. Despite the internet posting pictures like these, trying to pin the most recent tragedy at a church on MAGA.
Another horrific incident, another horrific act of terror. On Sunday morning in Grand Blanc, Michigan, just after 10:30 a.m. during services at a Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints chapel, a man drove his truck straight into the building, then entered the premises and started shooting people indiscriminately. The early reports are as of now that 10 people had been shot, at least 10 people. We had one victim that died almost immediately, and by the afternoon another fatality was confirmed in hospital. Several people are remaining in critical condition, others stable but badly injured, and now first responders are telling us that it's likely there's more people inside that likely didn't make it,
And I want to share with you a take from a video that I watched this morning. Something isn't quite right. False flag, possibly. And I quote, and I think here is the key distinction that Democrats very obviously want to blur. There's a difference between indiscriminate violence that may stem from a mental breakdown, PTSD, personal demons, or even a personal connection to the people targeted. There's difference between that and deliberate political terrorism fueled by rhetoric. And what we see on the left all the time is people like Charlie Kirk, Steve Scalise, and Donald Trump targeted and killed for who they are and what they're saying. We see ICE agents shot at, federal buildings firebombed, even Ice Cube's tour bus, and Antifa mobs assaulting conservatives on campuses and at counter-protest events. Except in this one rare instance, this man was off limits.
He's brave.
Okay, but if you want the war to stop and you want to free Palestine, how come you're not protesting AOC? I am, actually. AOC. No, not the organization. APAC, AOC, all of them. All of them. All of them.
So this is the man. He came down because he saw us being mobbed, and he brought his wife with him. It's like so brave of them. It's so brave of them. They decided to stand up and do something. I love it. I love this. So happy to see that.
Lil G pulled up in a 6 tray, talking about they want beef, homie, which way? Hey, deep when we roll up, you ain't gotta say it, it's a gang that we throw up. We the ones that go shoot up your party, then ride around town and...
Don't come out every night, they're bitches.
Yeah.
So what made you want to come out here and make them everything?
Because I seen a female here, and she was being surrounded by all these people. And
hey, I got a job right here. I work at Taco Bell. Okay. I work at Taco Bell. I just got off.
Hey, I respect that. Who else has a job?
You got a job. What? Take off your mask.
Right here. Okay, then you should be on the right side.
No. The right side? What the fuck? You should be on the right side.
Perhaps maybe he is their kryptonite. However, that, of course, is political extremism and targeted political violence. That's the ideology that motivates the violence. But here, again, we don't know yet. The attempt to instantly paint this as right-wing terrorism is obviously completely dishonest. And if we judged every act of violence purely on whether a person voted for Trump or Kamala Harris by digging up their voting records or looking at the political lawn signs outside their home, well, that obviously wouldn't make sense. Clearly, the issue on the left with all the violence we've seen is that those violent acts are tied directly to left-wing rhetoric and ideology. But what's happening in Michigan, while still being investigated, may have been senseless. We just don't know. To immediately slap a Trump or right-wing label on it and call it political violence is a disgusting narrative spin. It proves once again what we've been saying forever, that Democrats would rather weaponize tragedy to smear their opponents than face the reality of the violence festering inside their own movement. We'll talk more about that later. Senator John Kennedy nailed it, and we're debating cutting $5.5 million for LGBTQ plus advocacy in Uganda while illegals get the red carpet treatment here? Absurd. Time to prioritize our streets, our jobs, and our kids. Maybe we should start in Portland. And now the NFL just poured gasoline on this dumpster fire. Roger Goodell and the league announced Bad Bunny as the 2026 Super Bowl halftime headliner. Yeah, that's right. Bad Bunny, the massive Trump hater who straight up canceled his entire U.S. tour because fucking ICE could be outside my concert, he said, scared of President Trump's deportation machine doing its job. And yeah, one got away in Chicago.
Get him! Watch out! Watch out!
But that was a quick little fucker. This guy's an anti-ICE activist, dropped a video mocking Trump and sings almost entirely in Spanish.
Fans are reporting that they felt a demonic presence when attending Bad Bunny's recent concert. Fans even started to make it into a meme by taking videos saying that the concert just feels demonic. But it became extremely dark when this song Botánico came on, where there were masked demons dancing all over him and the concert turned all red. Even the music video to this song is extremely dark. It's this monster looking thing that creeps up into this woman's room, and it actually ends up becoming Bad Bunny himself. Those who attended this concert are even advising people, if you're gonna go see Bad Bunny's concert, then schedule your bathroom breaks whenever this song comes on. And at one point, those demons that were around him, you can't really see because the concert gets really dark, but they start grabbing and pulling on him like he's being sacrificed or something. If you've seen my old videos, you know that this is no surprise because he's been showing this symbolism for quite some time now, and it was only a matter of time until this started happening in real life in concerts. You're looking at the man who had the second most streams in the world on Spotify in 2023.
Did Beyonce do the last Super Bowl? Or was it Kendrick Lamar? Because Beyonce did something for Cowboy Carter and no one knew any of the songs. Beyonce she did something, no one knew any of the songs. So obviously she was a paid plant by, Jay-Z.
So Beyonce's hit country crossover album Cowboy Carter became a pop culture phenomenon. So a lot of people are surprised, I don't know why, that it didn't receive a single CMA award nomination.
Not one. Now, you mean to tell me that Beyonce Knowles Carter had one of the most successful country albums in history with one of the most successful singles, Texas Hold Up, in country music history?
This ain't Texas. All right, this ain't Texas. This ain't Texas. All right, stop. Deadass, this ain't Texas. Stop right now. This ain't Texas.
Could not garner one single Country Music Association CMA Award nomination. nomination. I'm not talking about the actual award. I'm talking about the nomination, not one.
Yeah. Well, this is the question.
He didn't get one, but he got 7. He got 7. Morgan Wallen, known for his colorful, disrespectful use of certain words, leads this year's nomination pack with 7. But Beyonce Knowles Carter, who redefined a genre, who reclaimed a genre, didn't receive 1.
Are you
So
surprised?
she was snubbed by the CMA organization?
I don't think she was snubbed. I think they just didn't, it wasn't for them.
Beyonce was the first black woman to hit the top of the country charts in history, the first, spending 4 weeks at the very top of Billboard's top country albums. The very top. She was the first black woman to hit the #1 spot on Billboard's Hot Country Songs, and she held that spot for 10 weeks. Seven Cowboy Carter tracks hit the top 10 of the Billboard Country Chart, and yet and still no nominations. 27 tracks featuring music legends like Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, Linda Martell, artists like Miley Cyrus and Post Malone, all were included on this album, yet no nominations. She qualified.
I was going to say, you often say, Whoopi, people get snubbed all the time in all areas of art, right? Yeah. And I happen to love Dolly Parton, and so I felt like when the queen of country sort of passed the baton a little bit for Jolene, which was an incredible song on her album, and Texas Hold'em, two incredible country songs. I thought she would at least get nominated for those two. But my mother always told me, find the audience that's looking for you.
For Single of the Year, Song of the Year, Album of the Year, Artist of the Year, Female Vocalist of the Year, Music Event of the Year, but wasn't deemed good enough, worthy enough for one single nomination.
But the thing is,
this audience is not looking for her.
But the audience is. Awards are often Academy industry insiders. And I love the CMAs. They put on a great show every year. But the country Billboard charts do not lie. 8 tracks at the top 10 on the country charts. The album itself spent 4 weeks on the top of the country charts album. So the listeners are with her. People are totally here for the crossover in genre. It's just kind of institutionalized.
They're not the voters.
That audience was not.
Well,
the voters weren't looking
that
for
would
her.
mean more as an artist, and I'm sure it does to Beyonce, because
You make it make sense. I don't think you can. I don't think you can make what happened to Beyonce Knowles Carter make sense, because it defies logic, but it does not defy the American way.
you're making it for it to be consumed and not for it to be judged by people. And all these shows, you've always shared with us too, that there's always some politics involved. And the person that's just below the placement is going to feel snubbed every time, you know? So I'm like, you're Beyonce. She knows who she is. She brings that talent to everything she does. The best revenge is success. And as Ketanji Brown Jackson's mom used to say, this is the one tattoo I've ever considered. Guard your spirit. To dwell on the unfairness of life is to be devoured by it. Get it tatted. Yeah. Tat that.
It recently came to my attention that Beyonce, who's on some world tour right now, reinventing herself as a country star, is running videotape during the show of yours truly. I believe it is a clip from me on the Paul Murray show out of Sky News Australia, which I do once a week because I adore him. But it's me commenting about how when she started getting into country and the launch of this album, she and her marketing people were treating that entry like the second coming. Like it's Jesus incarnate. He's back. All hail Queen Bey. She's here to rescue country music, which was a perfectly thriving industry long before Beyonce showed up. But now we all need to hail her because she's married to Jay-Z, which means we will have hundreds of millions thrown at any marketing effort behind her. And so that was my take. But the vast majority of consumers and her fans celebrated her to high heaven. It was like, again, Queen Bey and the Bey Hive and the marketing she got and the recognition and the awards and the singing opportunities at the awards shows, all of it was piled upon her, as everything is, that she is considered untouchable. You're not allowed to rip on her. By the way, not allowed to rip on Michelle Obama either. But we do. Too bad. The more untouchable you tell me somebody is, the more likely I am to want to hit them. And so here is a bit that she came to our attention. She's showing it every show.
Decided
decided to stick her big toe into the lane.
Okay, I don't know what it is, but it appears to be a setup for her doubters, like her haters. Somebody who reposted it online referred to me as a white supremacist, I guess because I didn't bow down to Queen Bey as she walked into country music. And let me tell you something. She had to scour the internet to find anybody who offered any criticism of this move whatsoever. And here is another one of the most privileged, beloved women in the world and richest based on her own fortune, never mind the man she's married to, but still has to look for the one sliver where she can play the victim and be aggrieved because big bad Megyn Kelly said something completely milquetoast about her entry into country music. Beyonce, she's won 33 Grammys, including for Best Country Album last night. Frank Sinatra got 11 Grammys. The Beatles won 7. Judy Garland, 2. Beyonce, 33. Most overrated artist of all time. Listen to what John Rich tweeted. Folks are asking me, how do music award shows work? He writes, labels and publishers all have blocks of votes. They make deals with each other. You vote for mine, we'll vote for yours type thing. It has zero to do with who made the best music, thus Beyonce with Country Album of the Year. Nice, right? The same thing is true with the CMAs, the ACMs, Billboard, etc. All work exactly the same. Last night, the Grammys outed themselves in a big way. We're not buying it. We know what happened and how she got this award and how she got her 33 Grammys when you've got 2 for the Judy Garlands of the world.
Whatever. And Dynasty, as he call it, Illuminati. I saw somewhere that, they're about to seize all of his assets or something. But at the end of the day, it was a terrible show from what I saw. I don't even know if I really watched it. Maybe I just saw some of the clips on the internet. And no one knew any of the words. Now, granted, I'm not going to say that no one's going to know any of the words to Bad Bunny, but you mean to tell me we're going to cut away from the Super Bowl and listen to a performance entirely in Spanish? Make that make sense. I have nothing against the Spanish language, but I have everything against this choice for the Super Bowl halftime performance. Let me know if I'm alone on that. But at the end of the day, he sings almost entirely in Spanish. There are no English hits for the fans of the heartland here in this country for which the game is being played. I don't see, other countries pausing, their sporting events, their major sporting events to bring in U.S. performers. Anyway, this isn't about music. It's a blatant left-wing middle finger to MAGA America, folks, and I hope you guys are paying attention. Know where to direct your rage and your boycott, if you would like to. Designed to divide us while pushing woke propaganda on the world's biggest stage, in essence. And are NFL owners absolutely clueless, or are they just in on this grift? There has to be some pushback, right? There has to be. Anyway, why not? Why not pick a unifying legend like a classic rocker or a country star who screams American football instead of some globalist agitator who bails on our country over border enforcement and the law? The league self-destructing year after year, turning tailgates into culture war battlegrounds. They cut off Carrie Underwood's audio at the inauguration. They bring in Bad Bunny to sing in Spanish for the fucking Super Bowl. Patriots, what do you guys think? Is this the final straw? Boycott the NFL? Maybe. Or show up and drown out the nonsense with red, white, and blue. Our pride. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your opinions in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video.